Today I'm working on a device that is a solar water pump. I just built this simple wooden box out of scrap wood. So the three different components: it has the bilge water pump, the 12-volt battery down there at the bottom, and then this device up here takes input from the solar panels that'll be connected here and puts the DC power into the solar pump. So it's a really simple setup, and it's a little heavier than I would like it to be, and it's awkward, which is why this happened. The connector got pulled out. So this is the type of connector that I have on this prototype box. It's called a bulkhead connector. It's real flat. These connectors are very standard in the solar panel industry. They are on the back of every panel that you get straight from the manufacturer, typically, unless they've been modified or it's something strange I don't know about. I'll show you what they typically look like. So it's a little bit different. There's the female piece and there's the male piece. So they connect into each other just like this. I was just trying to edit this video and I noticed that I left out some important information about MC4 connectors. So I'm out here at under the solar panel. These are coming from the back of the solar panel. And make sure I tell you correctly. This male MC4 connector is the positive lead from the back of the solar panel. So as you're making a female connection to your charge controller, your device, you want the female connection, but you're going to hook the female connection to the positive of the charge controller. So positive stays to positive, but the connectors will change. So that's one thing to note. So pretty standard, unless you've modified the solar panel. The male connection is going to be the positive lead, and you should check this, double check it with a multimeter if you can. And then this female connection is going to be your negative lead. You see me looking up at the panel just to double check, because I get confused too. So one way to check with a multimeter, if you put your test leads into here or into here, it will show up as a negative voltage or something to that effect, and that's how you'll know if this is negative, this is positive. So you can't see the panel from this shot, but these are the two leads coming from the panel. This plastic MC4 connector will fit into this connector. You never want to do that. If sun is hitting your panel and you put the positive into the negative and you connect them, you will fry your panel basically. You will kill it. And I'll try to turn the camera around and show you what part, if you ever do this and you are confident enough and you want to try to repair your solar panel, this box up here is what's going to be fried, and that's a little fuse block, and that's what you're going to have to work on if you ever connected these two leads together. So from the back of your solar panel, you'll always have one female and one male lead coming off the back of the panel, and then those cables go to the back of the panel. So that's what they look like on the back. That's your solar panel MC4 connectors. And then this, if you want to hook it straight into a wall or an RV, you'll get something like this. It's slightly different, a little more flat, not as round, and these are called bulkhead connectors. Because the other MC4 connectors are standalone, these fit onto a wall, but you need a very thin surface. So sheet metal, things like that will work. And you can see how thin I had to chip off a piece of this wood to get it to fit in there. And I also had to remove this rubber washer. It's pretty simple. One side screws into here, and the other one connects it. And that's it. And then this device is a totally standalone solution. All you would need to do is connect your battery, because you always want to connect the battery up to this device before you connect a solar panel. So inside of this plastic connection, there is this metal connector. So that's one end, and this is the other end. You can see they're a different diameter. So they fit metal to metal, just like that, and they make an electrical connection. So this is just the plastic housing. It's not actually making an electrical connection. It's just with this rubber gasket and these, I don't know what you call them, tabs, hold the electrical wires from pulling apart. So pretty simple, but it can get confusing. You want to make sure that you have the appropriate one, and the one with the larger diameter is actually the one that fits in this. Here's what the other one looks like. So it seems like it would hold the larger diameter metal piece, but it's actually reversed from what you might think it would be. So these are the two that go together, and this needs to be attached to bare wire. That's copper, and it's not a solid wire. Anytime you're dealing with DC electricity, you want stranded wire, because DC electricity runs on the outside of the wire, so a solid wire would get too hot. In most cases it won't be a problem, especially for simple water pump solutions like this. It's not going to be an issue, probably, but just be on the safe side, and it's best practice. Try to show you without moving the camera. So it has these two little tabs on it right there, and those are going to get crimped onto the wire, and I'm running it all the way to the PVC coating, and then that will make an electrical connection. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but that's it. When you go to attach this to the bare wire, these two little flares, those wings on the end there, they're going to be spaced just a little too far apart. So what you can do is close that up a little bit. You can take a screwdriver, you can do it with a pair of pliers, take your thumb, place it on one, and then the screwdriver is going to be on the other. You just close it up just enough, not so much that you can't get the wire over. And then the wire is just going to slide right in there like that. And then you go in with these ratcheting MC4 crimpers. I got these from Missouri Wind and Solar, and I put them on the middle. You can see this one has two big teeth and then a little tiny, trying to get it where you can see it, little tiny sawtooth coming up in the middle. So it matters which way you have it in there. But it's pretty self-explanatory. If you have this and you have these and it doesn't seem like it's going to crimp it, just flip the crimpers around. That's what it looks like. And then your next test, you can hold the wire down here and then hold the metal, because there's no wire, the copper wire that's inside this sleeve. It doesn't go all the way to the end. You only need a short amount of wire. So as long as it covers inside that much, that's enough. You can pull on the metal while you're holding the sleeve down here. And if it doesn't come out, that's a good crimp. Whether you have a block of wood or a sheet of metal, you want to take the back of the bulkhead connector and slide it on first before you slide it through the wall. Your next one, I'm actually going to slide that all the way out, because this is going to screw in here. And then you'll hear a click. Hopefully you'll hear it on the camera. Just want to push that in. There's a click. You can pull it out. That's a good connection. You just tighten that up and you're good to go. So we're outside and we're about to test this out. One thing I forgot to mention is the battery is not connected while you're changing these connectors out. If you're working on anything electrical, naturally you should make sure it doesn't have energy inputs to it.